There's a conference after that, before Christmas. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes. Okay.
So by the time we'll have more.
Yes.
I'm asking you that a couple of people in the family were first.
Okay. So from morning, I think we have seen a lot of digital forensics. As I mentioned, we are going to see some financial forensics also. So it will be like whatever concepts I can cover, I'll try to cover. Wherever you feel you can add value, you can interrupt. Also, if there is any question, I request you to answer. So this is the agenda which already we discussed. So next is, can we predict a fraud? So morning all we spoke about was like after a fraud happens, how we can what do you say, identify it, investigate it, audit train. So now can we predict before the fraud happens? Yes. How's any inputs?
Yeah, in admin system control.
Yeah.
Detective control before the process control point.
Yes.
You can alert the.
Yes. So that comes from an operational perspective. So operational perspective, yeah, red flags. Basically, we are identifying red flags in the business process and ensuring there is frequent monitoring or adequate monitoring to ensure that frauds are identified before it occurs or prevents fraud happening. So we want to predict a financial statement fraud. Like at a financial statement disclosure level, reporting level, like WorldCom, fraud, etc. How can we do that? Like for yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. We also got that. Crores.
Our internal material.
So yeah, auditors. Like for example, if debtors is more than 1 month sales, you can say that it is a sales fraud is potentially there. They are not accounting correctly or recovering correctly.
3 months.
3 months. Okay, 3 months. Okay, 3 months sales and that's a one indicator. Like that, there are different indicators depending on different industry. So now we are going to learn what is machine learning. Okay, so whenever you want to predict something, you need analytics. So now currently the word analytics is used in different contexts, but traditionally analytics was only this. Okay, we would have learned 4 categories of analytics: descriptive, prescriptive, diagnostic, and predictive. So analytics can be used for prediction, but generally whenever we are doing past data analysis, we call it descriptive analytics, which is limited to mean, median, mode, or formulas which we write on our own, like variance, standard deviation, all are statistical methods built, first principle component analysis, etc., built inside statistics for doing descriptive things. Apart from that, we call it as quantitative statistics, where we can build our own models. Like for example, let's say GST reconciliation. We are having some sequence in which we want to first attack the invoice number, then date, then amount, then vendor name, then state. Like that, some sequence we have identified, then we are reconciling, and then we are saying whether it's reconciled or unreconciled. That is also statistics only, but it is our own technique, which is custom built for a process. So now if you see, predominantly whatever auditor does is a statistics, but what predictive analytics tells is you do have your historical data, you analyze your historical data, identify patterns, then you build a predictive algorithm. So this predictive algorithm is nothing but your GST reconciliation, where you have identified 4 fields as key fields: invoice number, date, amount, and state of GST or name of the vendor. Okay, 5 fields I have identified as key fields. Now, if this comes, this is my output. So it's like y is equal to b
plus
something like that. So that's the equation we have defined. The thing is, variables are going to change. Every time a new variable is introduced, the output is going to be different. So we have brought in an equation. So that will be a predictive algorithm. There are different techniques to it and different statisticians have contributed to it. It's a very, very vast chapter, and I think there are a lot of PhDs that are going on in that and all. So now currently it is taken over the entire industry of any like any industry, it has taken over. That level it is come. So what we call is, once the equation is ready, I want to map it to the data sources on the respective equation, how it works. And then what I do is, instead of XY, which I work on predictive historic data, I will substitute with new data. So once I substitute with new data, it becomes prediction. If I do with old data, it is reconciliation. You are just seeing whether your old data is matching with what is correct. You have put an equation, you have mapped all the historical data, A, B, C is your output. You will go back to historical data and see whether my equation is working correctly for all the scenarios. A, B, C is there, then my test case is completed. This I call as algorithm building testing. This will be called as train data set, where I'm equating my equation to the real data. Now, when I put fresh variables based on this training algorithm which I built, I'll be getting predictions. Okay, so this is the basic methodology. Just for our understanding purpose, as I told you, there are a lot of statistical techniques into this and this. Okay, that is data model and predictive algorithm. There is a lot of statistical techniques. Like we have random forest, simple regression to multilinear regression. Then we have car regression. So many things are there. So now this and this is there. The thing is, if you have the inference which we are trying to take from here is, if you have a data model which is already tested and working fine, whatever data you put in, it will give you predictions. So that's how language processing working, Google navigation system is working. A lot of other systems are based on CIBIL score. Companies are predicting whether you will be a good customer, not a good customer. Actually, based on variables, data captured by variables, as Sir mentioned, they are predicting what is your risk of diabetes, risk of heart attack. So these are all, once a model is ready, it will predict for any data. So similarly, we have indicators which are for financial frauds also. Okay, so in this, Benford is one thing which is spoken very widely. So whether all the data which is generated are naturally generated or not is a question mark. But I'll say, sir, forensic I have never identified any outlier, but real data many times Benford I have tried, because I have created a template sheet which I used to do, not doing now. 2 years back, I used to diligently do every data set I could get. I'll put into that Benford table. I'll check what is the data output coming. So mostly variance will be not more than variance would not be more than 10 to 15%. But based on that, I am not able to do any further fraud investigation, because it's a very if number one is there, I cannot go and check all the transactions starting with one. It may be in thousands or lakhs also sometimes. So that is also one technique. One more thing what I find is that assumption doesn't stand good for all our data sets, because all of us have a price tag, all of us have all the entities are having some fixed price products. If you say retail industry, there will be mostly fixed price with different quantity. Somewhere it is like Benford assumption is not holding good, of truly random or naturally generated number. So there are other models which Paul sir researched and took from some books, sir. So that first thing we are going to see, which is going to be, so there are 5 indicators. These are all predictive models. Mostly these are regression based models. These are all statistical models. These are all regression based models. So we have a Montier C score, Benish M score. Then for bankruptcy, whether the company will be financially stable or not. For that, we have 3 indicators. Olsen O4, Altman Z4, and Pitliowski's F4. Okay, so these are all financial risk management perspective. We can do it as a preventive control just to evaluate going concern also. Like how along with the balance sheet, we are having ratio sheet, where once a TBPNL is built, ratios are also calculated. Majorly, we'll see just whether no ratio should be negative. That level of assessment, if we see, that is enough, right, for us. If we put one conditional formatting for different things, whatever, it should not be negative. Similar thing we can do, not just as a fraud risk assessment, as part of statutory audit, we can do for going concern assumption. If we are doing forensic audit, it's a financial fraud and you don't know where to start, because in financial fraud, loan default is one thing. You will not know whether it is through related party, sales, purchase, HR. So you will not be able to identify the exact thing. So that places also, this will help us to identify which area the ratio is bad. So basically, the equations are there. So I'll not be going into each equation explaining the derivatives, but these are for globally, some ratios are applicable globally. Some ratios are applicable for Asia. So the base data is based on business models working in our terrain. Okay, so basically how it works is they have a given set of parameters which are all based on financial statements, and there is an equation, basically a regression equation. So so that equation only is the base. So that is y-on-x. So that is only for what you say, single variable, single independent variable, right? So multilinear equation they'll be using where you are having multiple x. Okay. So basically, each thing has different parameters. So it has 6 parameters. So depending on the score you get, if you are more than, I think, 3. Okay, if you are more than 3 or the answer is closer to 6, then there is evidence for manipulation. So you can see which all is having 1. So as the answer comes 0, 0, those are areas which are normal compared to industry comparables. If it is 1, it is not comparable to industry parameters. So that will be the inference. So basically, no, I'll show you the Excel sheet itself. So we have built an Excel sheet where if you put the financial statements, so the links will go to the respective formula for computation. So increasing inventory base means there's a formula for how you calculate something, the current year minus previous year divided by this, something like that. So those things are there. So basically, it's a simple exercise which we can do as a risk management perspective, from a third-party risk management perspective on the client. Yeah. So basically, here based on inventory, current assets, depreciation, growth, and income and cash flow, divergence between income and cash flow. So there is detailed formulas for that also. Next, we are having Benish M score. So this is another, it's a 8-parameter assessment. So here also it's a multilinear regression. So if you see, when I say this regression, the X's, these are the things. Days receivable sales index, gross margin, asset quality, these are all other X variables, X1, X2, X3. And weightage is derived. This weightage is the equation which the predictive analytics based on the data model they have arrived. So basically like this, we have these 2 were the fraud indicators, and after that we have bankruptcy indicators, Altman Z score. So basically, since the equation is standardized, even the outcome is standardized. So if you see for Benish, it is like if it is more than minus 2.2, then there is a financial statement manipulation. Okay. So since it is very simple, once this is there, you can go into the respective cases. So I can. I can show you the Excel sheet. Basically, it's a simple Excel sheet which you can use. Okay. So if you see, there's 5 years. So you screen is shared.
No, but it's Zoom
No, I
package.
think, no, I think this is in duplicate. It's in present extend. இல்ல presenter viewலயே இல்லையே. இல்ல, not that. Actually, this
So this is
HTML is
desktop, no, you have to
HTML is
go.
working.
You
இல்ல.
will select the desktop.
No, it's not coming.
You
like
can go
that.
to the-
இல்ல வரலையே.
இல்ல நீ select பண்ணிட்டீங்க. You select the appropriate.
இதான் நம்ம desktop. வரல, அதான் சொல்றேன். It's in the HTML cable. It's extend மட்டும். Only the PPT is working and not the like extend work பண்ணுது சார், duplicate பதில்.
இல்ல அப்படியே drag பண்ணுங்க ரைட் சைடு.
PC screen duplicate.
Can
இதோ வந்துச்சு. Duplicate. இல்ல ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதான் அமுக்குனா ஆனா அப்ப காமிக்கல, இப்ப காமிச்சு. ஓகே. So basically we have so this is actually done for a listed company. So I have not put the name. P&L balance sheet is there. So normal ratio analysis, how we do. So we have taken 4-5 years comparative so that we can assess the trend movement for each area, how it has moved. So these are the formulas for 8 Benish index. So we have 8 formulas. And for each thing, what is the year-on-year difference? So this can be the simplest accessible and usable tool. And whichever area the parameter, so we are having, so I have not put conditional formatting into it. So if we do that, it is more easy. We'll know exactly which area we need to go and see. So not just one, we can check for all the 4-5 models and then evaluate which model is giving all the things as negative. And this has worked. We have used it in forensic audits also. Like, yeah. I have already said we have done one CPE fully on only this, explaining each of the formulas, how it works. So I'll be surely sharing it. And so no, this is yeah. So this year alone it is there -2.2 and greater. All other years it is. See, it's greater than less than 1.78 numeric, only then it is red zone. All these are positive only. This is a healthy company balance sheet only. As I told you, I took a listed company balance sheet. So actually, then only I'll have 5 years comparative. So it's easier to pick data also because listed companies means you get easily. So whenever we do know, it used to be for 2 or 3 years maximum. So this will be better. So I use this for this template.
So it's less than 1.78 is red zone.
Correct. If it's positive.
It's -4.3.
Actually, last one is should be greater than.
No.
First one on the low, second one was the short between, third one was like greater than 1.2 because less than 1.78 is covered in the previous second.
Correct, sir. You are right.
Or there should be a minus. Less than
Minus already covered in.
Greater than 1.
No. Greater than -1.78 is covered. You are less than minus.
No, that is minus 1.78. That's one.
Greater than.
Yeah, greater than -1.78 is covered. Nikita, can you check? Yeah, check that minus 1. I think it's in the PPT.
-2.2. Less than -2.2.
இல்ல அது வந்துட்டு ஃபுல்லா இதானே இல்ல இது வந்துட்டு பெனிஷ்ல வந்துட்டு this is overall probability. So the breakup I think we had taken from that paper. You just check whether that what we have written here less than that alone you check in that book and come back. It's taken from a book only actually. We have not contributed to this. We have only put it in Excel. You just check whether that is less than 1.78. Yeah, it's greater than 1.78 only. I also think so. Because on top it is already covering less than.
Yes, 1.78 means, it's actually, it has to be 1.7.
Sir, basically, ஒரே நிமிஷம், I'll show you, it's a.
Why do you think it be less
Ah,
than
ஆமா.
1.7?
Finish code. So actually, it will not be very different, sir. It's like ஒரு இது இவ்வளவுதான் வரும், maximum is 0 to -5 to 5 தான் நம்மளோட ஆன்சரே வரும். It cannot be like how we'll have correlation between 1 and -1.
Less than -1.7. So 1.8 is lesser than -1.7.
Yes, sir. So
Greater
so likely profit manipulation is greater than, this is greater than sign only, no, greater than 1.7. And green is less than 2.22. So this is the spread, sir.
so it has to be
Greater than.
less than 2.22, say.
Yes, sir.
So if it is 1.77, that means it is 1.75, it's
This, yes, sir. So the English was wrong, but the parameter was correct.
Okay, but
Ah.
actually English is correct, greater than minus 1.7.
Correct.
1.6.
6. Yes, sir.
All are less than 1.7. So which means it's.
So the last one, see, the first one is correct. I think it has to be safe zone. 2.22, thing. Less than 2.22, the safe zone.
ஆமா சார், less ஆமா. So 2.22 இங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா 2.14 இருக்கு.
Safe zone is less than minus
Sir,
2.22.
we can just keep it for simple this thing. Anything minus 2 less than is safe. Greater than, yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Minus 1.7.
Yes, correct.
Minus 2.2.
இதுவும் இல்ல.
Less than minus 2.2.
Okay, that it's okay.
Oh, I think it's okay in the.
No, just write minus 2.2, corrected.
Okay.
Right, okay, that's it.
Okay. So basically, this is what Benish extended. No. It's that equation. 0.4, this one.
Weightage greater than.
Yeah, this thing, minus 4.84 plus 0.92, this ratio. Day sales receivable index, like that. Is it coming? It's coming in present view. Okay. So basically, that equation is substituted here.
Okay.
So just for academic, you cannot just manipulate some numbers and what will happen.
Yeah, we can try, sir, actually. No, generally, if you see very senior CAs and all, immediately they'll see, as soon as see this balance sheet, there's a hole in the balance sheet. There's a gap in the financial statement. Something there actually
Somebody has to
manipulate for the double entry to tally. That's what Benish is trying to say, if I'm not wrong. Correct.
you can try certain point of time, reality will have to catch. The parts of that, firstly being
We have tried for 2 forms. We tried this. But not, that's what, no, I didn't spend too much time in evaluating. But basically the indicator, asset area, liability area, loans, like that.
Where is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then it will go.
that also.
When you for 30 employees, more than that information has to be presented to a certain small people. Then more reason, no, it automatically leaks out. See, like, everybody knows that
You have
there is a discussion on advantage. That is debt. Everybody is start value one thing, everybody, then the public discussion on debt. So everybody is focused. There must be some information, somebody can say. Because enough people can say, know what is their exposure, there is a worry. In terms of thinking.
The example where you have a red flag.
I don't know whether I have something to show now.
All right. Actually, there is one mistake government.
Yeah.
You see, spending time like this, it takes time to go to one hand and 1.5 hours to do. Just a small idea that they pick up words for notes on accounts, etc. Sometimes they have to go through all the different companies, see these circumstances, what is that, Corona, what language we use.
It's be another.
That never access.
I don't think.
No? Other things,
Something like that was marketing and these candidates are for
Yes, sir. So maybe sir can help us build a ETL tool for building the data and putting into the ratios. So basically, yes, sir. Actually, I have done one more, as I told you, but that is my client data, which I cannot show. Maybe we can discuss. Yeah. And you can explore further. I can share from the book, which talks about the fraud forensics. It's accounting fraud book only, which from where we have taken this. So like further you can explore. Okay. And any corrections to this also you can explore. Basically, yeah, always there will be scope for improvement also, and there could be human errors also. Okay, so this, these are the 5 things which 5 ratios which we saw. So apart from that, we can use analytics also for forensics. So there are some key fraud, like we already identified fraud indicators. Let's say ghost employees is one fraud indicator. Then we can start with biometric data, how we can read, how we can reconcile with payroll. Then we can go for KYC verification. So something like that we can always go. So using for financial fraud, analytics is a very, very basic and required tool. Let it be data from SAP, ERP, or Tally, or anything. Data analytics also plays a very, very key important role. Some of the simple things like classification of entries, duplicate data testing, then gap testing, entry dates, date cutoff procedures. Mostly, if you see cutoff procedures is one area, fraudulent company uses maximum. They'll put so many entries month end, then reverse it in next month. So during one forensics, we identified that one company had one vendor code solely for the purpose of creating invoice, paying GST, and raising credit notes. So every month they raise invoice against that company, and entire amount credit note is there, GST is paid. So
Once GST is paid, we think it's legitimate.
like when we see the plain sales separately, say plain credit notes separately, it doesn't seem, this thing doesn't come out. So when we do analysis between the sales and credit note together, we identified this vendor is used only for that, 0 sales. So he's having a GST number. Okay, sales is recorded to him. And again, it is written. It's only like they have used that company for money routing sort of, and inflating sales because they had investment from some foreign company. So because of that, they want to actually have a better MIS. So like this, for different reasons, there are different teams. So monthly MIS, they are able to show boosted sales. So whenever there's no, that is subsequently end of year. Subsequently, like half yearly or end of year, within that credit note tenure, they are closing it. So it was only like not legitimately fraud. It's only for routing money or inflating sales in goods. So that was basically management forensics where the foreign company had. Yeah, there's no gain. That's what I'm telling. There's no gain. Yeah, man, actually, sir.
Without selling, they have been facing this, each one has set up for months.
Yes, sir.
Suddenly they move on.
Actually, that vendor name was the manager, sir. They called it the manager. So that's how they had created it, and they had done this basically mainly to inflate sales only. There are so many invoices, and invoicing also will happen only in the 3 days. Like I think most of the companies do that last 3 days, 4 days, they raise invoice. So like that, and what? Yes, sir.
Economic activity in most business
Industry.
Just like accounting.
How we
Tax audits get filed within
30th, sir.
The deadline just gives people working. That's a natural process.
Correct.
What is this sales return which happens in the next month? There are other indicators.
Correct. So then after that, when we tried to reconcile GST, that was a never-ending process. But what I'm trying to convey is simple analytics also. During internal audit itself also could be a indicator, because actually Big Four was a statutory auditor for this company. So they had qualified so many other things, but on sales aspect, they hadn't qualified anything. So basically, analytical procedures is one key element, which is important area which we can look at for things. So basic testing and gap testing, cutoff procedures. Duplicate testing. Duplicate testing is a very useful technique. Like for example, through name, through phonetics. So now we have solutions actually where we can do text mining, phonetics based duplicate testing. So SHRE, SHRI, both are pronounced RE, but system will not identify it as duplicate. It will allow you to create what you say, second entry, unique entry. So dot, correct. Space, plain space. Yes, 3-4 times. So okay, different location, different GST at least fine, but it will be same building, 4 GST and 5 vendor codes. It is quite possible, and maybe in one vendor code in one region they have blocked, other region, other place he is just re-registering again. So these are also some key areas, but since our topic is more into forensics, I'm not going to analytics, but analytics is also a key indicator which we can do. So next fraud identification technique, is mystery shopping. So this is one of the most favorite area for us, where we can do a parallel business evaluation. Like for example, if I'm a company, how I should evaluate vendor? We are giving a process. Same thing we can do as auditor. Whether that vendor is having that business, how many customers he has given, whether he is having the credit worthiness, whether he is giving at this price to other people. So we can make random phone calls, ask queries, we can see his balance sheet, we can evaluate his KYC. Okay, so one case we all went and inquired for rent of one flat. Okay, because they were paying some huge rent to the director for the place they have occupied. It was in Keel Park and the rent was around 1.5 lakhs for 2 flats. So we were very skeptical whether 1.5 lakhs for a flat rent is possible or not. Then we went directly to the flat and we were like disguising ourselves like as if we are intending to take in rent. We went and asked. I did not ask. Nikita asked. So Nikita and Parvati madam did the thing. So we went and we asked, what is the rent, how much, what is the advance you take. So we want to ensure that it's a pure related party transaction, or is it legitimate? And it found to be legitimate actually. So in that flat, it seems it's a luxury flat where each flat rent is like okay. To identify how others customer. Yes. The manufacturer also sometimes does it before giving dealership. Yes, sir. Mystery shopping, correct, exactly. So those are, yes, sir. Those are all some things which we can do. Like for example, whenever we do purchase audit, we do this analytics. We'll do gap testing, duplicate testing, Some to an extent manually also we will verify once more whether this address is unique, different, wherever system is not able to do. Then we take that export. Then we do mystery shopping. So whatever we did in analytics, I won't identify it as duplicate or negative. Okay, I'll call it as potential risk. So these are the output of my this data. Let it be vendor master or purchase register. Whatever data I have analyzed, the output will be called my potential risk transactions. In that, let's say I'm getting out of some 10,000 vendors, I may get some 1,000 vendors as potential risk. So in that 1,000 vendors, we can manually go through once more, which all are more key risk. Then we can see which all vendors high value purchases have happened. So that way, those vendors which we are shortlisting, we can do mystery shopping. So in that mystery shopping, these are some parameters which we can do. One is analyze competitors, which all vendors are there in the industry, against which vendor I have taken. What is the price at which he has given to me? Then what is his process and procedures? Like for example, recently we did a vendor audit. So that vendor has supplied a big software product for a big insurance company. But if you see that software product name does not appear in any of his website, none of his product logs or his LinkedIn pages, nowhere his product name is there. So he secretly posted the product. And the thing is, in his website, the product sale is not even a service category. So it seems like some related party has routed their product through this entity just to gain entry, because it will be some related party means my organization will not accept. So they are gaining entry to some other entity and they are doing. So similar things we can evaluate. So then evaluate staff performance, as sir told, car dealer is the best example. Sales points and establishment analysis, where they are. So recently we did this, it's there in the next slide also, Google 360. So if you see Google 360 view, it's such beautifully captured images where even places we haven't gone, places we haven't visited. Let's say in the vendor master, there is one location which is put. So we can go to Google Map, plain Google Map, check what are entities are near and which are locations are pinned. We can go and search further for those locations. Then we get street view images for those locations and then see whether this entity is really there, this name board is there. And trust me or trust me not, whenever we do these, we always find gaps. And management is surprised. How did you find this much? Like, did you go there? Because the thing is, the requirement is this, but the expectation set is not this. Everybody wants to ensure the employees are following some protocol. Everybody wants to ensure that only correct prices we are procuring. But whether the expectation is set to identify some control gaps that are happening is less. Because the first time I remember 3 years back when I gave this duplicate vendor list to one of my statutory audit client only, he was like, 3 times that IT was, how did you get this, ma'am? How did you get this, ma'am? Because they have like more than 20-30,000 vendors. We are giving exactly 400 vendors where there is duplicate, and it was not for fraud. It was basically they were doing migration. We wanted to support them to eliminate duplicate entries. So they were struggling with 20,000 data points. How to identify which is a duplicate, why the second thing is created. So then we were able to write some few steps of Excel queries to actually filter and identify it. So as sir told, it was one parameter is we'll never touch the source data. We will create a separate intelligent database, like extract of this database to somewhere else, and then do whatever analysis we want there, and then we'll map it to this. So that way we know what is a duplicate, what is unique. So like that we had built. So those are some things which always will add value to any audit we do, not essentially forensic audit. And obviously brand perception. So we know that that brand is going bad. We tend to want them previously itself. Why we do we want to continue this or not? So that decisions also we can support. So these are the common techniques which we can do sitting in our place itself. Like it's more than going to the person location or shop and getting quotes. These are some areas which we can do. So this Google view, I'll just show you. All of you may know things, or you may have already done also, but I'll show you. You can also try. Like for example, yeah. So this is our office street. What I have done, I'll show you. So basically, I'll search for some location. Okay. So pin location will come for that place. Okay, we'll do a fresh thing. Let's say I want to identify one shop in near CA Institute. So I'll go to Google Map of that. Then I'll see which all locations are pinned near that. Like this is SIRC. Okay, they are there. So mostly this ghost entities will not be having Google location. Like if we are really doing some forensics and we are doing anything, mostly they wouldn't have pinned location and all. Like for example, last week we were searching for one scan company, okay, some diagnostic center. And we went to Google Maps like this and we searched for the diagnostic center. It was not there. Okay, then we saw nearest location. Like see, this is Hotel Ranjit. So it is nearby location, which is pinned. Then we have some other here, JK Shah classes, which is pinned. So what we can do is we can go to either of this. Now we have photos of that. So we can just see where all we are having good photos of Street View. So Google Street View of that nearby place will automatically come. This need not be uploaded. So I went to JK Shah. In JK Shah, these are the images hosted. So if you go to Google 360 view, it will give you outside view of Street View of JK Shah. So now with this, I can see nearby places. So based on this, other companies which are located, we tried calling few other shops nearby. There was one driving school. So we made an inquiry for the driving school and inquired about the scan center. Then there was one more scan center next street. We called them and we asked about this scan do you have or that scan center will provide. And we identified both of them had no knowledge about a scan center like that prevalent in that place at all. So as per our analysis, there is no scan center, diagnostic lab in that room. So something like that. So I think my internet was faster. Huh? I think so because it was. So if you see, this is not the photo I have loaded from our office. This is our office location. So this is Kochu Bhavan is our office. Okay, so now if you see, the street view allows me to give. So now I know nearby what shops are there, what is the place. So I can basically judge. Now let's say there's a software company address. Now by just doing this 360 view, I can just assess the place whether this place can host a software company. So this is one way of what you say mystery shopping, which I can do sitting in my place. So as I told, it is not required to do for every entity. At least for suspicious potential risk entities, we can do this exercise. And we can identify leads nearby where what to ask. So yeah, we can zoom it. We can zoom it. We can go near. Okay, and we can take other pin locations. So this is coming from some satellite where nearby. No. Google is doing it, sir.
Yeah, Google has people to go and take the photos.
Also, 360 is a separate satellite, I think, sir.
It's not one. It's not 60. Is not one.
It's the third party vendor who takes a car, moves the 360 camera out of the car and sends.
Okay.
And there's a software running.
But on Google Earth Street View, I thought it's coming from some satellite.
No, the Google Earth is from satellite. The 360 is from the.
Okay, but service is there. We can use it. Okay, so sir, initially I also thought like that, sir, because if that so is the case, only major cities you can see. But I have done for like 100 kilometers outside city and all I have taken. So then I got doubt whether it is first. I thought first of all when I used
Google Maps is good that way.
Hmm.
And second thing, what they go like.
Also.
Phones, how they do it, their data goes to the satellite.
Hmm.
So that's what they get the time that normally this food is taken. This is what it is taken, but we will be careful also because certain times like people in Western Ghats have gone into a river also because night time they were trading.
Hmm.
But our post monsoon the dams will be fixed.
I understand.
Your phones, you get the data that how much time normally it takes from a place to a place. Taking that, that they marry with satellite data. Then the street view is whoever has taken third party vendors or taken videos of that area that is uploaded and correlated with that location.
Okay, so basically, sir, I have all. So when I first used 360 view, my perception was also exactly yours only, because I also thought, see, it comes like all. This is like photos posted by anyone tagging that location. Then by owner, this is photos which I post in Google Business.
Correct.
Okay, and this 360 view, it comes outside, which is totally different.
Just center of Mumbai.
Correct. This is center of Mumbai.
This goes by. It is just opposite our institute.
Yeah.
ICAI classes are in that street.
In which street?
Yeah, but the class coming up.
Yeah. So that's what I'm telling. This is not exactly for that thing. For
So
every
it is
road,
not satellite.
because the okay, but it is little difficult, no, sir, to take every street corner. And
No, satellite is
Kilometers above there,
Mhm.
nobody can come and use that.
Sorry, okay, something they are providing the service. Good morning, sir. Sir, help, sir. Pandro, sir. Sir, Google 360 வந்து satellite photo எடுத்து camera எடுத்த photo வா.
Google it.
அதான், we have to Google it.
But doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, that's what the service is available. We can use it. Yeah. Yeah, 360 is a camera.
What they
Okay.
do, they marry it to the location.
Okay.
So maps over the location, so you can click on it. They were uploading that vendor 360, they interact with that.
Okay. Yes. Next, we are seeing that also photo with geo tagging. So next is social media profiling. So basically, once we get a name, social media, see, person without social media footprint today is considered to be one. First
Very
is
rare.
fraud only.
Very rare.
Yeah. So very rare and very less chance that he's a introvert or a digital, not in a digital environment. Mostly if they are not having digital footprints, they are like doing something malicious. They don't want others to know. So that is the era we are in. So we can go through Instagram pages, LinkedIn pages. So LinkedIn provides useful information about any entity. Like immediately once you put a particular person's name, all the people whom he is connected with, at least the entities, it comes ahead. And next is when useful thing which we can use from LinkedIn is the number of employees. Like for example, as soon as I put a particular entity name, immediately actually it gives me, let's say, Reliance.
Shops will not have it. Even more CA from.
அதுக்கெல்லாம் Google, sir. அதுக்கெல்லாம் Google map. Small, very small, we'll use Google. Little big also, like, sir, actually now, even if they are working in a 20-member organization, they are putting it in LinkedIn, sir.
But it's not compulsory.
It's not compulsory, but
I
I'm
don't want to tell you. I LinkedIn profile is from my days when I was service.
yes.
Many people, my staff.
So person is fine, sir. Entity only I'm telling. Currently I'm telling entity. Basically, if you put an entity name, people who have used your name will come. Okay, so that way it will map them as associated or employees. So that can be one indicator when we are evaluating size of the company or payroll of the company, etc. It's one indicator from public domain which we can take. Yeah, some basic, like there are only 4 employees in LinkedIn, but they are showing 200 employees now. That is highly improbable.
Yes, no Facebook profile.
So it's highly improbable. So this can be one more step which we can do. All this what I'm telling is before we go into the audit and take data, because most of the times that data itself is not available. We have to rely on only banks data or statements, etc. from third party. or lenders and investors, etc. So that is one area. Third area, I think all of you know.
I'm working in one company. Only if I use LinkedIn.
Yeah, if you have used LinkedIn, putting your name as working in RGN Price, then it will show in RGN's RGN Price profile that you have so many employees. It's
We should be careful. There are many manipulations. There are people who are the organization which have 8 rupees for the Facebook like, etc.
yeah, but this is not like sir. You have updated your profile is one. The next level is actually if you want to go further into social media, we have this suite of tools for social media analytics in Kali Linux. So we can use those commands actually to trace friends, friends of friends, family in Facebook, Instagram. Those are also there, like frequent person who comes and puts like to particular type of photos. So that type of analysis and analytics is available. That is more on cyber footprints and social media audit. But on a entity business perspective, this is some minimal thing which we can start with. And next we have GST, MC, income tax. I'm sure all of you will be like pro in that. Next is shopping visit. We already mentioned. Collecting codes is one thing. Then for some even technical products, which is like machinery or something which is not readily available and readily people may not have prices listed. We can see Alibaba, India Mart, where similar products are traded. Let's say they have imported from Germany instead of importing from China. Very difficult to have a price comparison, and it's very difficult to identify a vendor in China or in Germany to do that price comparison. So Alibaba is one place where we can have at least up to 25 to 30% variance we can have, since all these are indicative things which we are doing as part of mystery shopping. But that is one area which we can take data from. So then I don't know if you have used Cash Free. It's a payment gateway basically. It provides a very useful tool called verification suite. So what it does is it does verification. So first you have to register an empanel with Cash Free. It's a payment gateway. And what it does is it will help you to validate account numbers of people who are whom you want to onboard. Like for example, if you want to know whether this bank account given by this person is SIS or not, because a lot of times what happens is there will be a lot of vendor name. Bank account could be employees, my employee's bank account or his wife's bank account. Okay, so we want to ensure there's no ghost transactions or duplicate dubious transactions going out. So then we can map that person name, phone number, and bank account details together. So how that works is, so there's a small registration process to onboard into Cash Free as a verifier. Okay, but it's not paid. You are paying only for the services. The empanelment process to ensure that you are proper KYC person. You are not misusing this information. So for that, they are doing your KYC verification, your bank account verification, and then it will allow you to verify other person's account. So you can use it as payment gateway also, but currently we are going to see only the verification suite. So if you see, this is the dashboard. I have registered for me. Okay, so I don't have much transaction in it, just registered for test case. So generally, see, when you verify this, like how in Sibyl someone makes a verification request, the other person also will know that they have verified. Same thing, Cash Free also. Like if you are verifying a person's bank account, from this account, actually a penny drop will happen. They will drop 1 rupee transaction to validate whether it's the same account, same number, same phone number, etc. So it's better to do from the vendor's client's system itself. You can create the registration for the client, and from the client, let's say he's having 500 vendors, all 500 vendors together we can verify. It's only an Excel upload. All the vendor statement what you are having, you can upload an Excel sheet, it will verify and it will tell you. So if you are doing it as an audit firm, you are doing, it may not be very appropriate. So I have created just my account. Show how we do it. Yeah, I'll show you. So now if you see, I'll just show you the entire dashboard. Yeah, this is the dashboard. If you see, you have transaction settlement. This is the payment gateway dashboard, payouts, verification suite. So this is payout, this is verification suite. So I think they charge 1 rupee, penny drop will go, and after that some charges will be there for another 1 rupee. So 2 rupees for verifying per transaction. So you can verify PAN number, you can verify UPI account. So if you want to verify bank account, you just go here and verify bank account. So first you have to verify your identity, whether you are only doing. So there's a OTP for that. Yeah, you can use my ID. Okay, fine. So now I have to put all the details. So I have put just my bank details because I don't want to verify someone else's bank account. So first is account number. And you put whatever name, so entity or something. And phone number also, it's better to validate it because generally now if you see already because of this Aadhaar PAN linking everything, phone number is common across your GST for PAN and what is Aadhaar, bank account, etc. So preferably if the same bank account is there in our customer master or vendor master, it is more reliable information. So phone number also we can include, but now I'm not going to include. Once I give verify, so just a minute, like less than a second, it identified that it is valid. So if you put invalid, it will come as invalid. So we have done it from a client's place already. So now just for our class purpose, I have created a account for me separately here. So same thing you can do for PAN, Aadhaar, GSTN. So GSTN, I think already GST portal gives a free utility, and these are all not costed. So the registration is free, bank account is costed, and PAN, Aadhaar and all is a value added service which he is giving you. So any PAN number, you can just give a PAN number and name, and it will map whether at the same name PAN is there or not. If anybody wants to try, you can give your PAN, I can try. I just tried morning. So the name registered in PAN also it's pulling and it's giving. So if you do it in income tax portal, you won't get the full name. In GST portal itself.
No. The GST number is in the PAN.
Yes, sir. This is only the perspective of oh, you are telling like that. Oh, something happened. Sridhar, I think morning.
But you said no, one penny drop will happen.
That's for bank account. Debited my account and for the account which I did.
Because you same amount.
I'll just take so debit is not happened here, but it happens to the wallet. Some balance is there. So debit has happened, income has come, 1 rupee has come. Green.
If you would have validated my bank account, then mine also would have got it.
No, yours will get 1 rupee.
We are right.
If I debit from the verifier,
No, again, banks are not disclosing this account name. But that's going to simple API call.
Correct.
Only after
Verification.
there is the counter response message from the
Yes.
server, which gives the
Correct.
name and the
yes. So that way, actually, only with that we can validate the name and phone number also. Actually, name, phone number, email ID, all three we can validate. Not
Okay.
email phone kandipa panna. So phone number is one area which it is
So can
validated.
you even verify a PAN number attached to that one?
No, verify to a bank account illa.
Verify what
We
PAN
can
is attached to
give
the.
it to cash, sir, they will do it once. So So currently,
But you think we can do it from our app itself, not necessarily we can do it.
app itself. But it's, any API can do it from us. But sir, the thing is, when we do it from our app, it will go individually every account. You have to do it. But here you can do everything bulk. So 100 verify immediately. You take us in minutes.
If the vendor gets a credit, he gets a message that you have been verified.
No, he just knows someone has done it. So penny drop is done by lot of vendors nowadays. It's done by NBFCs before doing disbursement, banks before doing disbursements. So penny drop, even for some KYC verification, they do penny drop. So he will know, they may not know that we have made. They'll not know it. So I'll just see what was the description for the penny drop. My name is Karshan. Like reference name, first few digits are.
We have to do it together for the 300 vendor.
Important.
400 rupees.
So we can get it first client only. Like it's better to be done from client case only instead of random person be doing it. So in the client we can register and we can do it as a service, and along with our charges we can give it the cash.
You can also.
For the yes, whichever entity is going to verify that entity bank account and name everything should match. Only if they are empaneling itself for cash free. Like for registering for cash free or later pay, they take minimum 24 hours. There they are running the KYC, they do a call, they ask why you are doing what purpose. They do some level of KYC, and then only they provide us the access. So that is so actually now we are doing individually, no? So if we want to do batch job, then we have actually year batch. So we have some place where they are giving some CSV files. So bank account, I saw the CSV file also. It's not showing here, but it is available. I have seen somewhere bulk upload one option is there. That's how we have done it for the client when we did. And they give a what you say UAT environment also for us to test. Like you can create a trial ID and keep it like a test version where you can check and do. In Tappa, it's rejected.
So if the name is Usipa, but the bank account is somebody else's, it
will reject. It will not reveal. It will reject. You'll know it's invalid only.
So we'll not know what name actually to whom it belongs.
That will not know. It will say only it is there. Verified means it will say.
I think suggest you
Let's use PAN number. 4 is P.
It's what's PAN number, sir? PAN, no?
No, I see it.
Solunga?
4 is
4 years.
T.
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 Trust.
7798.
That's what I tried actually now. I took it from. But name one sorry.
Instead of chart.
It's rejecting. I don't know. Oh, எனக்கு insufficient balance. வந்துதா error message. Sir, sorry sir. Some base இதுதான் நான் balance வச்சிருந்தேன். Yeah, correct. one last வந்துட்டு இதான் இருந்தது 00 ஆயிடுச்சு
If you want the account names, I can give you another workaround.
okay
Go and open bank account, the savings basic
Ah.
bank account with every bank in this country,
Ah.
2025.
Ah.
And if you send to a person in the same bank, just account number is sufficient, it will give you the name.
where
Every banking has its own basic
yes only account number yes.
Same bank transfer, you put the account number, it give you the
Yes sir.
name.
But the only thing is all that will happen case to case basis, one by one, like how we were doing mystery case. But mystery shopping we can use the techniques. Sir. That technique we can use when we are seeing individual vendor, but when we want to do bulk verification separately.
My bank different.
No, this is not net banking live, sir. I have to first bank and reach out. Hmm. Ah.
With you, with your staff, we will give you the tax.
இல்ல. If for example, I have account in Indian bank, I go to same bank transfer, it will not ask for IFSC anything. Only account number that digits are there, it will give like that particular person. Add account.
You can do it on your.
Individual. Yes.
Also, you have to check UPI.
Ah,
Every
UPI.
UPI and put a UPI ID,
It will.
it will verify and give the name.
Name.
Another way, you put an account number, not IFSC code, at the rate, NBCI, it will generally transfer as a UPI.
Oh, in UPI ID if you put, sir.
So any UPI app,
Ah.
you take the account number and put the IFSC code, it gets money gets transferred.
Okay. Account number இருந்தாலே போயிடும் லாகின் டைப்ஸ்.
இல்ல account number IFSC code and at the rate NBCI.
Okay.
It takes that account number itself as a UPI
Yeah.
code. And you make sure that.
But actually, I think the UPI app other is also account transfer is allowed.
Hello.
Without
But
UPI ID.
we have to make sure, change this and put, see whether the account number is.
We can do
No,
individual step and drop. We can do an independent
No.
drop here.
you can just do a API color.
Yeah, correct.
I'm just trying to.
Yes. So there are multiple ways for doing each thing.
What letter? No, the non-member, you will type of.
But, you know, when you put a AOB stand, it'll ask you whether what kind of AOB it is. Cooperative society or a BOI or AOB, that's common. I believe that he is not generally.
No, this is first. Requirement is A, so it's an association of us.
Possibly, sir. Because I think they are not.
Sometimes one, see, because generally I see BSC boards, just to see whether is operating.
Correct,
or
correct.
operating partnership
Yes.
or a company.
So if it is limited and is given a personal fan,
Something
we can. So those are like vendor master tests which we can do analysis. Okay. So these are the things which we can do in mystery shopping. So basically to evaluate, so as I told you, these are things which we can do in any audit, not essentially internal audit, statutory audit, forensic audit. So we saw all of this, I think. Import export I will show you. So as I have identified my website. So when I was searching randomly only it came, but it is a very nice website where it will give some indication which all countries it has exported to. So there's a paid subscription. Okay, correct. Old data only is generally there.
Because it is not the data for the last 2 years, publicly being available. For then the customs department is putting the data.
Okay. Okay, but I think from customs portal, whether it's there or not, I don't know. It's a Chinese website actually,
No,
Chinese or
it's a-
Japanese website.
No, it's a website, the Indian customs is releasing data, now they are not releasing the data.
Okay.
So there are some, quite a few, many websites are putting the data out. What are the,
Yeah, I understand.
HST,
HSN.
HSN numbers, so. Price imports, Nova and other putting. Now, last 2 years, the data is not available. The data is- So far, website is there. Data regarding customer data information, will be the data will be 2 years old, because customer is no longer releasing the data for public use.
Okay, so I also don't know.
The data will be 2019.
I haven't done this recently. What I used also will be 2009-20 or something only I used. But that time we also didn't want recent data, so I'm not sure. But basically it gives you some how many shipments they have done, what are the key contexts. There is a premium version available, which we can do need-based. Okay,
Someone in GST department
to get the data.
to get a competitors, where who is purchasing from, who is selling it, the GST. But that's not legal. So what is the
Yeah, correct.
But law is in that.
But basically, whatever GST data, company, the ROC data, and IT data, they are also huge sources of leak of information.
Yes,
Yeah, because one of the policy assignments were bank statement. Like if you are an employee who the company is expecting has done some fraud, there is a way to check your bank statement illegally.
but recently bank employees are not doing it because I think last 3-4 years back and a lot of employees were getting arrested for this. There is a court case against it, and immediately it will be like who gave the bank statement to the other person. It's like at least forensic financial fraud is okay, but you have this domestic cases, diverse cases. Wife comes and asks for husband's bank statement. Then actually they have sued the banker for sharing the statement to husband's statement to wife.
Say, wait. Stopping is legally the court, the bank will not give you a data. But in Excel data with all the hidden, everything hidden, the data.
No,
will be
sir,
there.
but once they have access to, they're asking like how you got access. I got it from bank. They're seeing
So
video,
the court will
record,
not
etc.
use it.
You cannot use it, correct? That's what.
You cannot use it, but
But
the
you
thing is
have
that
the data.
so only the court cases turn to the employee who leaked the data.
See, nowadays, how do you find in the bank, there are so many employees having access to this data.
But they no, sir, which counter, which person, which ID.
No, the.
They'll be able to take. They are taking, sir, how I'm telling is real case. This happened in IDBI some 4 years back. We were in audit 5 years back. So because of this, they had actually increased the retention period of CCTV. So they are exactly taking.
When you enter the menu, ACL, that is the menu for, when you enter, the moment you put the account number, the ID of the user is being
Yes.
captured.
Not just that time, sir. From the time logging into system in bank, it is working on something called a single sign-on. So we'll be working on Active Directory. That is different. So in that single sign-on, immediately it's like all the applications you are accessing and the time stamping, everything is like retained. So there is a lot of.
If somebody comes to know that the bank statement has leaked, it is definitely a problem. But I am talking about a case that was handled in our firm where the bank statement was obtained to identify this, not this employee only the fraudulent, but some other transaction between. So he is making a transfer, maybe getting some money from him. So
But the employee is not told that it's the bank statement is. that
nobody
it
knows.
is-
Yeah.
That they have this list. Okay, do our express branch pay. The login is.
Yes. And then also that ACL phone or and the code phone on you are.
ACL is good.
HA.
Are you adding HA for
The other. Check for the bank, the password of the person, username, password.
Another branch level 2-factor authentication. In the bank.
No, you can do another way. Another menu.
No, branch employee, someone has access to the server. will be a-
Central data center.
That's right, central data center.
No, that's what you can do, go for a menu for HLA, okay. Put on all the day book kind of information for one plan. The same like.
Yeah, then it's easier for things.
No, it's not.
It's not easy, sir.
No, it is more easy. I need to generate the report in a notepad.
Agreed, sir, but what I'm telling is, if there is a case, it is all recorded in bank conjecture from, even from database level, someone extracts data, sir. I tell you, sir, from an IT auditor perspective, I'd say, if the people are having access to database and server, that is by default. but they are governed by a solution called PIM-PAM, Privileged Identity Management, Privileged Access Management. So as soon as you log into the server, the entire screen will get recorded. Until the time you complete the executed command, it will be recorded and it will be stored for further processing. So because at master level, data level, no, you don't want people to take any, do anything which is not legitimate. So when you can log into the server, only if there is a change request, and the change request should be approved by 3 levels. Only then you can access.
You may enter into the room. Also, my friend is currently monitoring one of the banks. It goes into the server room. I'm getting our promises. But you know, the access to the data is, I think Indian member, somewhere in San Francisco. But all the data is in the core database.
Yeah.
There is a middle there.
Which will
Outside the scope of this, it is from each
Yeah.
areas. Where all the decryption are. So even though he has an access to the core data in the database.
So he's a vendor, so he is getting that access. Bank employees will get actually DB access also, where they can see plain text. So some things are like one-way encryption, like passwords, even sole ID passwords, they cannot see. No one can see sole ID passwords or ATM pins, debit card passwords. These are all like one-way encrypted where it cannot be deep. It can be, it's like hashing. Yeah, it's, yeah. So other data, there is access, they can do. But it's highly monitored, logged, and RBI does investigation means they have to show everything. There is no loophole in them.
And also they use a tape, still a tape.
Tape backup is there. Yes.
Exactly, and to take a backup.
Yeah. So they have mirror data centers, like mirror sites are there, disaster recovery sites, which already have redundancy. Like our data is not hosted in one server, but 2 servers parallelly. Apart from that, they have the tape backups and the media drive backups, etc. Also, I think we deviated. So basically, this portal is also very, what you say, whichever entity you put, it will give number of employees it has identified and export income, turnover, then number of shipments, countries of shipment. It will not give exact names actually, only aggregated. Okay, but I also didn't know the recently. So so to identify this website today itself, it took me a lot of time to search actually, because it was using some, I don't know which Chinese, this is Chinese or Japanese or something. Korean, yes. Not Korean, huh? So basically, this is one portal where some free data is available. Sorry, from paid data is available. So those are the things on mystery shopping. So now we'll go into digital evidence. So morning we were seeing about system evidence. So I think financial forensic points, what I had is completed. So further to just conclude whatever we started, the point to start with could be ratios where we are getting some indicators. Then we can do business process study of the entity, identify key control gaps and areas. So based on the key gaps we identified, we do our analytical procedures and analytics, then identify red flags. Based on the red flags identified and data points which we want to further verify, we can do mystery shopping, basically third-party validation, because we are, why we are doing mystery shopping is mainly because we are not sure of the integrity of the data generated and saved inside. So we want external data source to validate. So that's the reason why we are looking at third-party databases for validation. So that is one area. So after that, you will be doing investigation and accumulating those evidences what we captured, and we can quantify what is the quantum of fraud. So next, investigation is a separate, totally separate area which we are not covering today. Sir also did not take much on investigation, because whatever, once we do mystery shopping little bit, we identify these are all the things you have done, and we start questioning them on that. Mostly they accept, but it depends on the questionnaire and how we are handling the investigation. Documentation of the investigation, then the custody, all that. It's like very big subject. Currently, we will not go into that. So digital evidence. So there are so many digital evidences which are there during forensic investigation. So first and foremost, laptops, computers, emails, then your images, SIM cards, HDD, SSD, flash drives, PDFs. Then we have log of events generated from all these devices, logs of events generated from browser, etc. So these all constitute evidence. So now how are we going to take this evidence, or preserve this evidence. So basically to okay. So basically, any electronic record means a record or data generated, image, sound, stored, retrieved, sent in any electronic form or microfilm or computer generated micro. So this is the definition. So basically now this is the electronic record. But when an electronic record will become an evidence, there is another section. So we have this section 65B of Indian Evidence Act, where they are telling what is the when and the evidence can be presented in court of law. So basically, at the time when an electronic evidence basically, okay, at the time of creation of electronic record, the computer that produced it must have been in regular use. It should be in business regular use. The kind of information contained in the electronic record must have been regularly and ordinarily fed into the computer. The computer was operating properly. Duplicate copy must be in reproduction of an original electronic record. So these are the 4 parameters we have to satisfy if we have to produce a digital evidence in court of law. So now here, if you see, there are hundreds and thousands of case laws surrounding this section. This is the most important section because however difficult processes you have identified and quantified the crime, whether the first thing will be like void as we showed. This is not evidence at all. That will be the case at many times, mainly because our awareness on that handling digital evidence is very poor. Like for example, many times even forensic audit teams will not know to preserve evidence. They may be using the same laptop of the person. Like let's say immediately one employee was dismissed because of a fraud. Immediately what the management is doing, they are not storing the laptop and keeping. They're immediately opening the laptop, seeing his mail, seeing his data. That's how we are destroying the evidence. Because the logs generated by him is getting rewritten. So once that is happening, that means actually we are destroying the evidence. Maybe that evidence was very important for proving the code. And so this is very important. Like for example, it should be in the ordinary use. It should be a reproduction of the original electronic record and not after multiple times of use. So for this process only, that this imaging, autopsy, all this comes into play. So what we are doing in this tool is, first thing is any laptop or any phone, any device, electronic device used by the fraud. What we need to do is we should not boot it at all. Let's say like the Shivaji movie, okay, Rajnikant's movie. He has a self-destructive code. As soon as boot, it will one password wrong, it will self-destroy everything. So then we are losing the entire evidence. So, but the thing is, all those codes are written only at application layer. So we have OSA layer, not hardware. A lot of layers has taught us. So in that application layer only, all this will be written. So we should not even open the laptop or boot the laptop. The easiest, best or the only way to handle it is we have to dismantle and take the hard disk out, and then we have to create a mirror. We have to create a disk image. The exact disk image we have to create. So at the time of creating, we should not overwrite any of the data. So for that, we have to have write blocker. So even when we are analyzing the data, it should not actually create any log on the database. It will on this you are analyzing. The log file of this should be created here, not on this. So that way only our working should be happening. So now all these tools we have this access, data in case, access, FTK, autopsy. These are all the commonly used tools we'll be hearing in forensic audit. So what are these tools? These tools are like creating a mini browser for this, for reading and analyzing the data in this hard disk or any media drive, any drive or any data. Instead of using a computer to work, you will be using autopsy or NCase, the tool which will be actually doing this work. It's like a browser. It's basically like a browser where we are going to use it. So that is digital evidence. So from here, if we see Next is how we are documenting this evidence. Some documentation requirements and all are included in the tool itself. This is for wherever we can retrieve a hard disk file folder in its original form. Now let's say a WhatsApp message, an email, okay, a multiple times forwarded email. Will that be a digital evidence?
Email will
It's provided you stop there if the employees. And it's not digitally signed.
Yeah, it is not digital sign.
As such, it's not digitally signed, it's not evidence.
Yeah. So what happens is this is the section for primary evidence. So if this evidence you are able to preserve and if you are able to showcase in the court of law, that means that the logs are untampered. You have data which is in its original form. Then it is the primary evidence which will stand good in court of law without any declaration, signature, etc. But if it is going to be emails, WhatsApp messages, etc., it comes under the ambit of secondary evidence. So for the second, so there are different types of evidence: direct evidence, circumstantial, documentary, oral, primary, secondary. So in digital evidence, we are talking mainly about primary, secondary. So here, if for a secondary evidence, that is a WhatsApp message or an email, or second person forwarded something, like for example, I have sent some message to Paul sir, and Paul sir has forwarded to Nikita. Nikita has forwarded to someone else, and that someone else is saying that this message Nikita has sent is offensive. This is not the it is degrading of me. So I want to put case under against Nikita. Like that, if they want to do, then I should write a declaration saying that that message was written by me and sign off and give to the court for it to be accepted as the evidence. Modified. So from the original person, whomever they are accusing, they have to accept. So that work investigators are doing. The investigators and arbitrators work is to get that testimony from the person where that they have done. So that is the case for secondary evidence. So production of a certificate under section 65. So 65, again, we have to give this was generated by me in my system, in my laptop, like that I have to give. So that I am agreeing that this is the data which basically I have to accept that I'm accused. Then court will take it. Yeah, it depends on which court, but pay. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
It's changed.
But whatever it is, I have to accept. I mean to say the person accused should accept. That is the. So if you see, there are a lot of rulings in this WhatsApp messages. There are a lot of Supreme Court rulings on WhatsApp messages actually. Recently, we had a case where they accepted the evidence, okay, without the declaration. But up to like 1 year back and all, there was no evidence, like no case law itself where they have accepted the evidence. So there are different case laws. I didn't go into too much of the legality of it. Mostly lawyers handle that. So yes.
this imaging doesn't hamper the primary data.
No, it doesn't. We have to do this imaging in order to preserve primary data. Like this was the laptop of the employee. This was the desktop of the employee. Let's say you went out, like I dismissed an employee yesterday. Today I should not boot the system again. So that means I am recreating logs, which would essentially change the log which are already created. Yes.
Now if I have to do this imaging, I should not say.
Yes. I have to unscrew it.
So that is image.
Otherwise, actually, there are things where through network also you can use. You can connect it to LAN and through network, LAN or Wi-Fi, LAN is less than LAN network. We can connect it to network and also use. We can open and also use. Okay, but open an image, you can use it as backup, not for digital forensic. Like let's say you are going to do some your own system, you want to do this image and then you want to do format. Okay, then you can create the image in books. Also correct. And shows here that we have come to that. The young, you know, the autopsy has dog thumbnail. I also put it. Okay. So
What is,
autopsy is a tool.
what is this?
No, autopsy's logo is a dog.
Okay.
So I have put a cute dog. So basically this is autopsy thing. So autopsy is an open source tool. So maybe before going into jumping into autopsy, I actually told to leave break. I don't know whether coffee came, but I'll just tell why we are using open source tool and why not a free tool. Okay, I'll just tell the pros and cons of different tools.
Why not a paid?
Yeah, why not a paid tool? So see, we are talking about different risks. So this is generic conversation, okay, not specific to autopsy. So there are different tools which are there available in the market. Okay, let's take any example of tool. Okay, we have a Microsoft
Office.
Office. Yeah, Office we take. We have Microsoft Office. We have Open Office. Okay. There are two. There's a paid tool that is a open source tool. Yeah, Google Sheets, everything is free. So now if you see, the free tool, open source, and a paid tool is different. So Google Sheets is the freeware. Okay. Open Office is an open source tool. And we have Excel Microsoft, which is a paid tool. So in paid tool, we are having support. Okay, so that is a paid. Okay, Microsoft Office is a paid tool. We are having support of everyone. Okay, so in Open Office, it's a free tool. Okay, we have support of contributors. Like you can always put what is the bug in GitHub or somewhere, they will respond. Then not only the person who did it, there will be so many other people who will come and contribute it. Okay, and free tool is somewhere you have some limited support. There also you are having support. Okay, but the thing is, when you are using Microsoft Office, you don't know what data they are capturing. Let's say I'm an organization, I'm storing all my very critical trade secret information in Microsoft Office. You still never know what all logs, what all data Microsoft Office is doing, because you don't have access to the code. There could be some.
I'll tell you one right example.
Yes.
What I was teaching in the top floor, opened the Office application, Office 365.
Yes, sir.
It was signed through your name.
Yes, sir, I know. Wonderful. Actually, that
And
is
recent document, you are not there in the list last one.
correct.
Different guys. Whatever files you use in your laptop,
It's
it's
coming.
showing as Then I went and signed out.
Sir,
I called, I tried,
four people are signing out, sir. I don't know why it's not at all signing out.
I tried to reach
1
you out.
month back, Ratnagiri also told the same. He told I signed out.
I tried reaching you. Okay, it's open. But you didn't.
Now, is it? That, I think 1 month back or
You are
something.
at the camp. You were not
Not the sign. Not the sign.
Yeah, they don't have a license. It's coming on the beach.
No. See, then you open office, something.
Very labs.
No.
Not to say it's all very important, but infrastructure is very poor.
No, there is gentleman in Mumbai who used to buy a thing. They ordered 20,000 devices just basically the small thing for 2 years. It's there. That's a disaster. Simply,
But no one is aware of it also, sir.
how I see this is just bringing a half a ton of firewood, burning cash.
Actually, to see from outside, it's okay, sir, but it's very difficult to handle. See, actually, okay, that if you thought to take.
It's actually good. He knows that problem, let's see, it's 20 years for the way. I think they always complain to me that why a fresh CA cannot use Excel. They are doing a very good service to the industry. There's people.
We are trying to do, sir. There's a lot of difficulty in doing it actually.
Right, because whatever everyone expects that, person has some sort of job that they put in institutes.
But
But most of it, the institute, I think is, the courses, generally, it doesn't involve any computers, right, or CA. So the competency doesn't come out.
I tell you one classic case, last year April to new people studies for advanced.
No.
Based on tally year, which is dead to 1 year back.
And they release syllabus without class exercises, without any.
Before actually consulting this.
And the class exercises and all, each faculty based on our experience we are giving. And there are faculty who, at same thing I have seen one sir, he was feeling morning. There's one faculty who's putting Excel sheet, sorry, PPT and teaching Excel. Not doing and showing, but putting PPT and teaching Excel. I have seen one person who had played a recorded thing in a real tape recorder, kept mic and he was sleeping. I saw that in class. Even I saw in class, I was so panicked, I just slapped him. Somebody said, I said that nothing want to panic. What is this happening in our institute?
Institute material, us. There will be simple capital budgeting problem. What comes to exam is very different. If you have to take different books which are outside the institute and ask registered answers and movies.
But now, even if they ask what is in book, people are not students at the level like students quality and anyways. So open source, there is no chance of putting a malicious code inside or where they are reading or monitoring, because the entire code they are giving to us in GitHub to monitor. So if you ask me, this is the best level of security. When the entire code is given, it's not like, so now the installation, how it comes. So when you are having the open source, you have to download code, compile it and run it. Okay. If it is going to be freeware, directly we get installer file, we run it. So that is the only difference. The thing is, both the systems are running only in our PC. It's not running in some open source, means it's not running in Google. It's not running in some outside our environment. It's running in our environment only. But it is since the code is available for public to view, there is chance of any malicious activity to be done or malicious data theft, which they are doing from backend. It is very highly reduced. So that's the reason why open source tools are more preferable than using a paid tool or free tool. Free tool is giving for free, so obviously we'll be capturing a lot of information about us. Paid tool is having some contractual agreements and clauses based on which he is conveying that he will not do certain things. But still, there is possibility that they are having, they may not directly sell our data, but they may arrive at some attributes based on the work we are doing and they may use it. But again, data privacy is again sometimes obsessed also.
Sometimes important to do. Suppose you want a merge video, there is a lot of people,
Yes.
but your data is going to be.
Correct. Fine. Correct. So it's better to do it in a paid tool or an open source tool. Open source tool means you have to have some little technical knowledge to search it, take it, and have it done. This paid tool means it comes more handy and simple, but some costly. Some tools are very costly. Some are very yes.
And everybody needs to compress PDF. Most of the evidence is
Yeah, maybe if you see MCA portal and the mandate because yes, correct. So basically, whatever we are having in class today, I have just created a simple OneDrive sharing. Okay, I have included what is one bit.ly link. ICAI. Okay, yeah, this is the bit.ly link in which actually I have hosted all the files. So whatever tools we have used today, okay, I have put the links here. some IP tools, and this mail header I'll show you now when we are doing digital evidence. This we are yet to see. Basically, this has the link for all the downloads, including autopsy, find my IP, etc. So that is there in this Google Drive. So this link alone you can write and keep or access it to download the content. Yeah, it's basically CPE SIRC 79 today's date. Bitly. Yeah. Yeah. Bitly bit.ly / CPE SIRC today's date 17/09. Yeah, PPT is also. Yeah, Excel sheet I think I have yet to put. I put. Yeah, you can download and work. Yeah, financial risk model also already is there. So basically, photo forensics, few photos are there. Then all the links are there in this Word file. And this is one test Outlook mail for reading. This is SIRC PPT, my PPT I'll put. So SIRC PPT already has all the command prompt things. So basically all the content are here. So in this file itself, put that between first. Okay. So in this I have given download for our tool. So autopsy is the one tool we are using. So this FTK imager is basically a tool which is used for disk imaging. So what it will, I'll just show you that. So basically what we have to do is whatever drive we are connecting to, I think that is not installed. To install it. Yeah, just okay, no problem. So basically that will be a tool which we have to just once we open, we have to connect to the data hard disk, whichever we are going to image, and then it will create a disk image and everything. So basically that is the thing. So this is autopsy. So in autopsy, what we'll do is after we get the disk image or data set, then we are going to connect to the data set and we are going to analyze. So once like how in a laptop we are having hard disk and opening that hard disk through the files and folders in our laptop. Similarly, now we are going to open the hard disk to autopsy. It's only a viewer. It's a data viewer, like that we can say. It's a forensic data viewer where it has interface for creating the documentation, putting the case number, case who did it, like an audit program. It will allow you to put the person name, it will allow you to put what is the inferences, tag locations, etc. And most important thing is it will allow you to recover data which is deleted also. Yes, sir. So now for the limited work of class, so as I told you, to analyze large volume of data, it may take like a very long time to run. So I have taken one open case is the open case also will take very high time. So I've taken one pen drive with 2 files. Let's say this file also I can delete. So I'll just copy it. It's just only one photo. Okay. So what I'll do, I can format this file. Quick format I'll do. If I do hard format, okay, then it will be like only after the full hard format, whatever data is available, only that will be there. Quick format, if you do, still that data will be available. Okay, I will give format. Okay, and I can do this. So even if it's formatted, rewritten, Okay. Now let's say I'm just putting in two data. So this image is there. Some screenshot is there. I formatted and I'm putting two images. So I'm going to call, this is some challan, I think. Okay, this is some net challan. I'm just going to delete it. Okay. So I'm going to delete this file. So now this is the drive I'm going to connect. So you can alternately connect to any, you can create just one folder in any drive and you can connect it to it also. Like it will work in the same way. I'll just show you. I'm just going for a new case. And the case name we can give case 2. And the base directory is going to be my desktop. And I just give OK. Next. So here I can give my whatever report I'm giving here will come in my forensic report, which is generated from the tool. Basically, it will have the log, person, who did, like along with the evidence, the examiner information also will come. So for that, I can feed in this information also. Okay, and any notes is there, I can give that. So what it will do, it will now connect. It will create a storage place from where it will view. Okay. So we are going to create a new post. So like now I'm going to give local disk. So this will allow me to create any disk which is connected to my laptop, which is including my inbuilt hard disk. Like any one folder you want to analyze, or any one folder you want to retrieve data which is already deleted. So please connect to when something very small. Do one folder minimal data. Then give next. And then you have to give local disk select. So now this is my local disk which is connected and I give OK. So once I do this, okay. So this, and I give next. So it will start reading all the data which is there from the base history. No, it's there already installed. Autopsy is already installed in the desktop. No, you local file it's not allowed. Local file also will allow.
Local file it says
Oh, okay.
but I don't have this about.
Yes, actually, but we just it's a storage.
I'm just trying to.
And soft so that will create a case. After it creates a case, then we have to connect to the so it's like that. If you connect to this also, we can use Autopsy for recovering in our folder itself something we want to retrieve. That is also one functionality of actually. So only they have some foreign lab with a high power system where they will have a bandwidth to run tools. So this tool if we have continuously in our laptop also becomes slow because it's all very heavy tools. So generally I do it on need based, I download and then whenever there's a audit going on, we keep it in one audit laptop. Where exclusively we use only for the tool. Same thing for our same thing for whatever tool we are using. Better to have dedicated systems.
I will call you.
Yeah, we can do it in VM. So we can do in OneDrive also. Data drive. Yeah, we can try.
This is starting with what we did.
No, we need to know that we are doing it. That. Next. Yeah. Thanks. Right, obviously. How much folder is that? 81 folder. Which one? I think it's large, means we make it very long. So try to keep one small folder and then we need to put data into it and print that. So you can try logical access. Okay. You try to connect to logical things. After creating case, you can connect to logical file. I had connected to local disk because I had a pen drive, so I did connected to local disk. Yes, sir. Yeah, no problem. What is this? The word. What if I oh, you want to write the system? Select documents here, just not a folder. Documents. I think we can create one small folder with little data. Because I can create a word document. Yeah, no, put it in the folder.
What the text is that?
It's very right. What kind of data is it? What are those? So actually, for if we are doing it from a then what we do after? Yeah, basically once you load that file into, it will give you like how laptop is opening. And case that case the case where it is stored now. This where it is stored. It is stored at this. Now this folder case number. Let's go. No, later after it creates a case, we have to input the title. So actually, it has lot of functionalities, but today we are going to see undating effect. Like we need one folder that you can import. So then select data first. Yes. Then logical. So if you see here, it comes, all the file views will come. File type, deleted files, MB file.
Someone who is very clever, we will be seeing. Because they have been sick from.
இப்போ பாருங்க.
Magnifier.
Yeah, I know. இப்போ once we import our data set, like this it comes. All the parameters based on size, it will classify, then based on file type, based on file extension. So once there is a database or a hard disk that we import, it will classify into images, videos, archives, databases, etc. So what Autopsy is doing is, it's like a desktop inside a desktop. So our desktop is reading our hard disk information. Autopsy is going to read an external hard disk or external file folders information also. So it will be like a browser where it can have, it will be different files. So if you see currently by extension, there are this many files in the folder, in the drive which I have. So this is one file which is active, like I'll show you. This 106 is the file. So if you open the folder plainly from my hard disk, from my laptop, it has only one file. Okay, this is one file. So this is some image. So this is some certification by someone. Okay. So now, but if you see through Autopsy, you can see what is the file structures, formats. Okay, modified time, access time, created time. Okay, how many, whether it's an allocated storage, non-allocated storage, and you have 4 other files. These are all actually deleted files, which we can still view from here. So how we can view? We can just click on it and it will give us a preview. The preview comes here. So this challan was deleted. This test message was deleted. There's some TIFF files. I think that is some temporary file. And there is this JPG file which was deleted. So if you see, we had formatted the pen drive and then only we had done, but we did low level formatting, not the full formatting. If we do full formatting, actually, all the rewritten files will not come. But in this, if you see, I had previously formatted this thing, like some 3-4 months back. Before that, data also is there. All the PDFs, Form 8, Form 9. So previously, I was using this as a see, this all 2011, 21, 18. Yeah. So that forms meta text, metadata. Those data also you will be able to get. Then some data system will generate on behalf of us, like for example, log files, libraries, etc. Those also will be there. So basically, first, what it is doing is, it is allowing you to connect and open to a external or a location where you can analyze the data. Next, it is going to allow you to view all those data, including deleted files. So this way, I will be uncovering, or it will be helping me to reconstruct audit elements. It will be helping me to reconstruct audit elements. Then it will also help me to do documentation on this. So every evidence I can name it and I can flag it, and based on the case I will know. So if you see, morning I did a case 1, which is saved here. Tampered in the sense delete, modified. Inside the file, separate tool is inside. So either, actually how we have to identify it is, actually Paul sir can explain the technicality. Paul sir can explain the technicality behind it. Decimal, இது வரும் sir. With that we can identify whether it is. You need the board. Okay, sir will explain how we can find. Actually, how it will give is like this. It will give metadata and hexa data, like that it will give. So for us, actually, data recovery itself will be more than enough to do, sir. Like the zeros and ones it will come. This is the way actually the final data is stored in the binary data. So this data readers are there. So through that we can identify what is the actual data communicating. This is the what to say, the not machine readable form basically. So that is also available. Through that we can identify, but we'll be seeing other tools also to see. Like PDF modification, identification, I think you can do only through Kali Linux or more technical tools. But image we can do through online tools itself. Image, if it was cloned, etc., we can do. So basically, yeah, this way we can retrieve data, view evidence, and we can also, here we have discovery timeline, etc. So you can close the case. Once we have analyzed these things and whatever you are doing in this data, okay, you can view it. You can search for keywords for the entire database, like how inside our laptop we are having search. Okay, we can fix keywords and all the things will be filtered based on keywords. Then we can mark something as discovery. Okay, so in each image or document, we can mark a particular thing as discovery. We will try to do that. Okay, and finally, it will also help me to generate a report. Let's say this we named as case 1. So currently there's only one evidence. For that one evidence, it will say this is the case number, this is the thing. This was the software information. Then if you can put the data source, tag files, metadata, what was available. See, these are all some very old music files which was there, I think, of the data which was stored in the pen drive previously, like 2019 data and all is there, 2019, 18. So all that will get populated. What all related emails are there, email IDs are there. Retrieve you can view it in autopsy and generate it as a report, and this report along with the original evidence we will submit to court. Yeah, open side la comes. It will come like this.
No, you said some files that were deleted from 1 year ago. Those files also stored in the tool.
Yeah.
Whether those can be read.
Yeah, yes, sir. Though it's reading, no. One.
See the
Review. Every file, whatever file it is, JPG, image, Excel also it will show. Any file format. It
These
will,
are all deleted files.
yeah, these are all because I'm inside deleted folder. In the Excel, it's deleted. So you got this is the metadata it's capturing for each thing. Created by, edited by, deleted by, edited date, everything is available. I think you cannot export it. We can view it only in this viewer. Maybe we can take screenshot of something, but
you can use another open way.
Okay, it will allow to export. Email readers are there. Email readers will allow you to download. So here it will come along with this, but I don't know. There should be a functionality to export also. I think.
So for any purpose, take screenshot, then you
No, this itself is evidence only, sir. Whatever data is coming from autopsy itself is evidence only, because actual evidence is the original hard disk. With the original hard disk which is having the information, it's like audit report. We are analyzing the data and creating our documentation for proving that evidence. So this itself is sufficient. So you make separate videos.
Just you prefer something called extract rights. Right click on the image.
It's that
Right.
Extract. Export. Yeah, it's coming to save. So then I think on top itself it will just. Yes. For PDF, where is this? I think from here. For right click there it's a PDF also, I think. So here itself right click extend. So, but individually only we can do it. Fully, I think we can select and do folder wise. Extract wise. So it's allowing you to do bulk also. So if it's a hard disk means if there is a emails, if there is image, videos, everything, it will have separate folder and it will show. So reports, data. So like this, it will create one more thing for email. So whatever data is inside the hard disk, everything it will tag. So who was the user for that particular thing. So everything it will tag and it will show. Basically, it's more like a browser to read all the things in the hard disk, which we should not be reading directly when we are doing any forensic investigation. We'll read it through a tool. I think we'll take a break to have coffee and we'll come back. How much time you want to take? That's what delete something and write in the work. Like what we do, I did everything for project. Yes. Sure. We have.
Which is the next one?
Yeah, next tool we'll see email header. So, article 425. So soon. So we have mail header, photo policies. Okay, we'll start. Yes, sir. So we have two more areas to cover. One is mail header analysis, and the second one will be photo politics. Both are little simple tools only. So for mail header, I have actually attached one file. Yeah, mail header test mail like that I have created. So basically, when the there is any anonymous mail, or you want to trace some mail, someone is trying to raise a complaint, or you want to trace a person who has sent it or location has sent it. If there is a what do you say, static IP, you will be able to actually trace even at a later point to the same location. But if it is going to be a dynamic IP, it will be changing every time, so it will be a little approximate. But basically, header analysis will give you all the content to different hops at different places wherever they have it. Whatever content has moved, that also will be able to see. So you can download that test header which I have shared, and we can. I'll show you how we can first extract the header from the mail. Like for example, this is my outbox. Let's say for a particular mail, okay, this mail, okay, for this mail, I want to take header. What I have to do is I can go to my file and properties, file properties. If you see here, I have what is called internet headers below properties. So you can read it. It's like little plain text only, apart from little, like for example, I can just copy and we can put it in a word and see. So something like this. Okay, it will be something like this.
Even in Gmail or anything.
Yeah, yeah. In Outlook, you extract like this. In Gmail, I'll show you. So if you see, you can see the IP address of the originator, receiver. So if you are having a secured mail server, then actually it will have go to proxy and it may generate from Outlook or Gmail domain. So if you are having a private mail server, it will go to your organization back. So that part of IP, it is little difficult to trace the exact location of the person with this IP. Like unlike the system IP or other IP addresses which we retrieve from the DNS. But on the mail information front and how many hops, those things we can see from this. So basically the information from that header, what we have to do is we have to just put it in a mail analyzer. So you have a mail analyzer from Google admin toolbox. So that link is there in the same file I sent. So you just give. So it's toolbox. Huh? No, you have to just copy paste. You have to just go to the mail. So I have sent one mail. So you can just open that mail, download it, and open it, and you can just
open in Outlook.
Is there Outlook is there?
Yeah, I have a.
Oh, in your laptop. Okay, in this sign, it's there. No? Okay.
You know, I've downloaded it.
Yeah, it's opening.
But for me, it says opening a browser. Opening an Outlook, right?
Ah, yeah, correct. That was Outlook mail only. Otherwise, your mail also you can do.
It has two attachments,
Yes, correct.
but what we copy, the content of the mail.
No, not the content. You have to go to file and go to properties.
Yes.
And there you will get the properties of the mail and internet headers. So you just click somewhere inside and give Control A to select the entire header and copy. Control C. Adukapram we have to come to our yeah, attachment, it will read. I mean to say it will give us the information. And you can just open Google Toolbox. Yeah. So I have given two links. Google Toolbox will give only the basic hops, like how Visual Trace would give. The other M Toolbox will give more information as to the security, different codes, etc. and all. Both we can try. The usage is just we have to paste whatever header we copied into this toolbox and we give analyze header. It will actually decrypt it into more readable because there was a lot of content which was encrypted content, right? Like a lot of junk was there, no? It's the in transit information, etc. All that it will actually summarize and give it to us like a simple report, which is actually giving the trace route for the mail. Like how we got the trace route for a particular IP system pinging. For a mail, we'll be able to get here. The same thing we can do for that, do in this M Toolbox also.
On the protocol also same.
Yes, yes,
In the policy framework.
correct. It is similar thing, just on different data. There it was only through an IP. Yeah, M Toolbox. And now I'll just show you how to do it from a Gmail also. So every mail you can, even Yahoo mail you can do. So all mails have certain different interface. I created one test mail for that purpose. So you just go to this more 3 dots in Excel and there's something called show original image. So show original. So this will go to the original mail, which automatically showing me with the content, and below that you are having the actual raw message. So since it's a Google tool already, the Google tool is there for the header analyzer, automatically it's opening in that. Since it was Outlook, first time we copy pasted that mail headers into this box to see that. So from this side, we have received the backend content. And actually, if you read here, no, you'll be able to see received from what was the mail, where, who sent it, what are the signatures to the mail. So then what was the attachment, some content. So here currently, this was a little blank mail, but I will say it was a test mail I created. Let's say there's a mail with multiple trails and some trails are deleted and only few come to you. Then also this thing you'll be able to see from the header when there's a lot of trails, like 10 mails going up and down, etc. So this is from the perspective of mail. Yeah, Gmail. So Yahoo also has similar functionality, but I think most of us don't use Yahoo. Yeah.
One more example. You said that mail can be suppose anyone means they have deleted anyway. So basically what is the text actually do? You can extract the information based on this.
Not exactly extract, sir. It will be available. Some information will be available, but I'll be able to see how many hops that mail has done from the original person.
With the content or
Without
Without IP, we'll see only the root, not the content.
deleted content won't reach
without content you can see.
Without content. This is not a forensic tool, sir. It's basically what to say, internet root identifier sort of only.
So here we paste it.
Yeah, you paste it here, same like that.
So this is the helping us to understand.
Yeah,
That's what we're able to know from where it came, why it came, on.
yes. When it originated, whether it was like scooping between, whether it, if you see,
It is encrypted. Nobody cannot see it.
yeah, in transit nobody can. I mean to say, if there is a delay in server or someone has, it is possible, no sir. Someone can call sir. Someone can.
This is only for idle. So that's really good. Only the origination.
This is
the.
Yeah, this is the output. First output we saw from Google Toolbox. This is என்ன sir? அதெல்லாம் வருது. Encoding, decoding லாம் இருக்கு. UTF 8 down.
Encoding text slash.
UCF. So along with the message, these are the header contents. And this is full analysis of only header. But if you actually go through the actual message header, tell us sir, what is your question?
What is the header format? What is the header content?
Receiver, sender, message ID, encryption, signature.
After that, internally, there is how much more.
That tell us sir, what is that?
No, finish the tools, only then you move on.
Okay, sir. Okay. So after that, so we have tools which, so basically this will allow us to identify from which location, which country, as that at least base information we will know of where the mail is coming from and how much when it has come, etc. Yes, sir, all have come. Okay, so
What is that?
yes, sir. So next is when we have images in our hard disk, and if the image was taken through a system which is having geotagging. Okay, so those images will contain that and latitude longitude information. So if there is a evidence which is taken in a particular place where the incident has happened, and that image is trying to show the evidence. Okay, we can further prove that it was taken in that location, that place only. So for that, we can do this geo mapping. So I have just taken two photos which were taken. One was in ship, one was in flight. I only had taken in. So that photo I have shared in that folder. Inside this photo forensics. Okay. So even if it is happening, what to say? Outside land terrain, okay, with the geo coordinates, it will be able to actually map where the incident has happened. So for that, we'll be using a tool. Yeah, geo, this thing, tool.geoimagr.com. So here I'm just going to put that image.
Date மட்டும் தெரியும்.
எல்லாம் தெரியுதா? Date kuda varum.
Temple image.
And temple image is also geotagging.
Trichy.
Trichy, correct. The other one.
Some case.
Correct.
Almost every photo has this.
Yes, sir. If we are taking with phone, surely it will have that.
What if the same photo being sent through a WhatsApp?
It is not having
No
geotagging.
information on that. The raw image we require for.
Raw images. Like from like if it is transferred through email or any other media drive, all the metadata information is stored there. But if it's through WhatsApp, actually WhatsApp is cutting lot of information for that
Also the pixel size. So that-
pixel size, everything it is cut shorting. So even if you give, like for example, I tried in WhatsApp itself giving with original size, still it is not coming.
And probably will have.
No, I have dropped into the WhatsApp. you're telling.
Probably the. Just transfer.
Okay, like through Bluetooth and
Yeah.
like that I haven't tried. Maybe it will work because emails and pen drive, that way when we transfer, all the metadata of the file is getting transferred and it is there. But WhatsApp, it's not. Image file format is same, isn't it? Yeah, it's loading. Yeah, because I am connected to Institute Wi-Fi.
Already download. No, அது என்ன பிரச்சனைனா not the server break. So out of the just downloaded in 20 seconds.
Mm.
Your DNS server is not connected up to 8888 and go. Really slower.
இல்ல ஆக்சுவலி என்னோட இதுலயே ரொம்ப ஃபாஸ்டா இருக்கு. ஹாட்ஸ்பாட்லயே it was very fast.
No, DNS.
Yours came? இல்ல it came and did get
No,
cut.
do IT conflict that out. Then connect to 192. Because that gateway is slow. Or change the gateway to 192.162. Hundred போறியா இல்ல வேணாமா இதே மாதிரி இருக்கு. One 43 போடு இந்த 142. The gateway will not change.
After uploading, it should show, no?
Yeah.
So the photo is not uploaded.
That's what internet is telling me.
So still it is.
You can buy that on your phone itself if you don't need this.
The disable re-enable.
You know your data. Yeah, it came. So if you see, this is the image, the flight taken. So that image was taken when the flight was flying in Arabian Sea. So that level it will be able to tag and tell. So 2 more images are also there. You can all will work on the same lines.
I'm getting a spot here, Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, that is for the ship photo. If you go down, it will be from the sea, no?
No, I think.
Temple is Tamil Nadu inside.
Jammu.
Jammu case for the temple.
Oh, that how.
You just bring it, you know, like that. That's the location. Go for it. Because this will surely what do you say, exact, because latitude longitude. Like unlike IP where you are saying time.
Yeah, actually, not available in this other PCs. It's standard data.
Which data? No, it's there in OneDrive only. No, I have
But
40.
nobody is actually doing
Oh, okay. You can.
files.
Not sure the file is in this OneDrive link.
But this file is not available.
No, it's there. It's there inside the folder. You read, sure. I'll show you where it is. It's there. Photo forensics. Are they folder now? இல்லையா?
Correct. யாருமே தெரியல. இங்க யாருமே தெரியல.
அப்படியா? சரி ஒரே நிமிஷம். இதான் லிங்க். So you just type https okay /bit.ly dot இதுவே போடுங்களா bit.ly/CPE-SIRC 1709. So inside that all the data which we are using, including every link I showed from morning, is there in that. Yeah, you can take it.
Taken, sir. But here people are I'm wondering, people are working. அவங்கெல்லாம் blank listen பண்ணிட்டே இருக்காங்க.
So similar to that, if a photo is similarly, if a photo is modified, okay, like mod or any data is encrypted, like photo is also made of pixels. So some hexadecimal information inside pixels. Those things and all, if we want to analyze, there is a tool for that. It's called forensically. Not this one.
You're given 2 more links, 1 more link, 29A.ch. Photo forensics. இது பண்ணலாமா?
So if you see, this comes with the test image which is already there. So if you see, it will have a magnifier where we can zoom into the actual pixels of the image. Like every place you scroll, the actual hexadecimal you can read to identify if there is any encrypted data. And if you see, there are different functionalities called clone detection, error level analysis, noise analysis. So basically to see whether there is any data that is coming inside. So if you see now in your original photo, if you can just follow for a minute, in the original photo, okay, we are having here 1% line in the shoe. Okay, So, but when we are seeing this error level analysis, error scale, we are seeing something here. Okay. So, yeah. And no, further we'll see there is something called metadata, thumbnail, and geotags. So metadata will give me the date in which it was taken, where it was taken, using which device it was taken, etc. and all. Geotags will give me location with what. Then if you see this thumbnail analysis and then change the opacity, actually it will show you how the data file was modified. Like this is the file currently in our view, but actually if you see, such magnifying glass was not there in the original picture at all. It's a person who is actually going in parallel. So modify images. We can try, but here also the file should be in original format. I would say containing all the metadata. If there is no metadata, this information cannot be processed. So original hard disk, original phone in which you are taken, you are modified, those things, if along with the base data is available, we can actually restore to the original file.
Have you mentioned this?
Yeah. Everything is there in the Excel sheet. Sorry, bird sheet. Everything is there in the bird sheet. So in PDF, currently the simplest thing which we can do is there is something called as modified date itself. Like if you take anything in PDF, we have something called here, I think, as property somewhere. Yeah, control the property. So here you will know if it is modified. If create, see this timestamp with this will be there. So what is modified exactly? Free tool is not available. You can do in Kali Linux where you can do for some tools are there. We can reconstruct documents. But here basically just to know whether it was modified or not, and see here created date modified will be there with timestamp. So that is available. But if it was duplicated and new file was modified, actually this will not get updated because it will take that new file creation as the base date. So here there are some constraints. So PDF currently there is to my Google search and reading, I did not find any direct free tool available, direct tool, web tool like this available. But I think should be possible in Kali Linux. Okay. So I think we covered all the tools which we planned for today. We have 5 more minutes. Also, you want to go? That we can off anytime. இது மட்டும் ஆஃப் பண்ணிரலாம் இல்ல சார் போர்டு வேணுமா பென் இருக்கா டஸ்டர்
We'll just take a few more minutes and just explain whatever you studied. If you look at what was the file that you were talking about, you will have either a file system or FAT or NTS system Windows. So basically what it means is if you have a disk, some facts are very clear, but we call this fact 1, fact 2. Let's say recorded file 1 on track 1 and a recorded file 2 on track 2. And a later point, erased file 1. It won't erase it fully. What it will do is remove the first letter alone and substitute it with the question mark. So it means your file is still here on the track 1. Now there is a possibility we created a new file 3, which again will try to use track 1. Because track 1 is free according to the
header. But only let's say part of it was written. Rest of it is free. Now, when you run any underneath program, the first thing it does is looks to your entries here, identifies the one, the related mark, tries to trace its location, and if it finds part of it is damaged, you get only the rest of it. But assuming file 3 went to track 3, then nothing will be damaged to the whole of it. So when you're looking at the undelete, whole process, whatever was explained, was whether they have overwritten the data, whole data track, or not overwritten it. If you have overwritten it, then the recovery has to be much more deeper. If you are not overwritten, the software itself can do the recovery. So that is all.
What happened if my Word file is 10 pages? I did it 8 pages and but anyway, no good. Unable to refer back the text file.
Yeah, overwritten, then software cannot retrieve it. We have to try other methods. Yeah, the incorrect or but if you are not get over, if you over, it will not always overwrite immediately. Keep writing it all over the place. But if it's all bad luck, then it is possible it overwrote that.
But this is fine. What happens in the case of SFD?
The same format logic is same. See, what the format does is it creates those buckets or sectors. See, the name sector is because it's round. You have inter-record gap or inter-block gap. The word block, bucket, whatever the name is time. Same thing happens in the SSD. Formats it. The format capacity is slightly less than the unformatted capacity. Because the written addresses are good. Addresses are written because of random access. Logic is same program. So nothing happens. Only thing is the location won't be wrong. It will be more address paragraph. 16 bytes. So otherwise nothing. Same. So this was your first thing if you wanted on the header part when you're recovering a file or text. Second is we look at a message. Now, any message can be a insurance message, it can be an EDI, it can be anything. Being specific. Our message today was an email message. So the message, what happens is any message, there will be at least 2 components, at least. And then there will be, okay, let's say components. And then there's an outer component. The outer is always called the envelope. And since it was email for the specific example, this is the body of the email, the message. This is the header. The whole thing will be transferred as the envelope. So the whole thing goes as one entity. When I say it goes as one entity, that's for today's class. But deep down, what happens is this again will get broken into package frames. So when you send this message, the receiving machine first will examine only the scope. Because more interested in, is it for me, is it, can I read this format, can I get it whatever. This is what you are examining, that tool, this is what you are examining. This is of course what the actual message is, like the department or something like that. So in the header part, every message, there are formats. For instance, this comes and we have product from STMP, then they are header, all that it will be there. So they have standard rules how a message will look like. So based on that, this header will be formed. That's why it's a well form or malform. Malform means correct. Well form means it's fine. Confirmed. So every whatever actually not much new, but then here it will work on EDI. You may have insurance messages, messages, medical data, we have the DHI, you know, other cards. A lot of messages go up, you know, so you have to look at those formats. We have to have a big book of formats. Now, the question I asked was, can we show the email header structure? So normally we see from to subject something, then you'll also find what kind of encoding you have used, what kind of characters you use, what is attachment you have used. And then later what you don't see is which server it originated from, which client, what time, where it went. In time also we usually see IST, whatever EDT, whatever the different service went through, and some of this mail will wait to get cleared. Then when from the server, if you download, depending on your client configuration, you'll have POP3 or IMAP or whatever, the different rules you have set. Based on those rules, it will download it. Right. The photograph. The photograph is not a message, it's a file format. Yeah, it's oh yeah, but this is what we call a file format. Now, the easiest way to read this is to go to Wikipedia and put file format. You get thousands of formats there. Well, let's just see. But then you have to group it down. Like whatever you got, so in fact, Unicode 16 has all the languages. Mandarin, Thai, Tamil, Telugu, whatever you want. The encoding will be quite complex. But then message formats, picture wise, you may have JPG, you have JPEG, you have MPEG, you have the
So input is a video format.
But this is also a picture format. The real video will be wave, flag, flag is all. You know, wave, you have the number of Windows speakers, WMV and so on. Actually, in your music format, at the point of time you can do, but video is far easier. The frame can be. If you're clipping frames, it's 22 frames, 22 to 24 frames per second. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Now, anyway, the point is each of these has a format. Again, just like the message, but only thing is more complex because you may have compression, you may have color, different color reduction. If you try to save a file, it will ask you what format you want to do that. Again, then you can choose. Like I did 50 color, 22 color, and so on.
And there will be loss in the.
Loss in color. So that header is another thing that happens. Because document files, we talk on PDF itself, a lot of formats are there. They have a PDF, protected PDF, header protected PDF, fully protected, encrypted, a lot of PDFs are there, portable data format. Word also has got a lot of format, because that Word has gone through many versions, like 2000 doc, doc, something like that. In the formats, that's what we require. This is best from Wikipedia. The file formats. Headers you must search independently. Mail headers, something else header, whatever message header you want, you have to search separately. Customs, they use a system called ICAI and Elvis. Different people, different. So what will happen is you have to keep a separate notebook, keep noting all these down, file formats, government formats, like somebody said something. You may get JSON files, you get XML files on your whatever, income tax, GST, and all that. So if you keep on noting it down for a period of a year, the book will be full. But at least everything will be there in one place. Later on, when you search, at least you don't have to do that. Because sometimes the older formats you will not find in Google. There is no other updates. It's gone. The better we know what we need. Some of these you may look for older mail, very old mail, Exchange server from 2008, something possibilities there. Then if you're reconstructing and you can't find the formats, these you can note down, formats you can note down, then any specific details you want, like what I told you this morning, that there was a few last commands, those you better search for group commands. Like which commands are for networking, which one for security, which one for inside the machine. What I told is alphabet. So that's a little tedious. So you can group them out. And tools wise, there are so many forensic tools. If you feel you want to start working on forensics very seriously, then you take actually go and download the whole thing. There is one called Kali Linux. Connect is no old Linux also change the name of it. It's all owned by offensive security now. It's quite powerful. So what you do is you make a bootable pen drive. Hyper. So like advantage you carry it with you. Any machine you sit, if you plug it in your room, it's automatically running this. You put it on, you go up home, and that other machine is doing that. When I said dual boot and all at desktop at home, that is at home, personally to learn. But if you are traveling around, then you can't carry it. So this pen drive, just plug it in, finish your work and go. Whatever it may be, then taking frames or recovery something, whatever your job is, just carry a pen drive. That pen drive doesn't bother us. That you do is enough, but you can have 2 to 6 if you want, which to use. Yeah, so that's the cheapest way to work. There's no point carrying this laptop. So anyway, that's it. So kind of store anything.
Sir, use message editor, email editor, similar to packet editor.
But packet data is much lower level.
But packet editor will not be encrypted. However,
it won't be really encrypted.
no, the message part is encrypted.
However, not necessary. Mail out SMTP. That's for 425 service. It doesn't encrypt. Entire TCP stack does not encryption. Encryption starts only with the checksum. Ethernet frame will have a checksum. Right beyond that. Mail is actually text, HTTP, STL. In fact, it's all these are
Plain text in
only the attachment will be encoded, but not encoded. That is the encoder means because TCP carries only 7-bit ASCII. Most of the music and everything will be 8-bit. So they make it into 7-bit, transfer it to the other and make it 8. TCP internet will carry only 7-bit.
So you can only verify the message by checksum.
That's what we need to put that and sign it. Then key will come, key will encode, all that. That's extra business, extra money. As it is, you will get on your post. You want to put in the covers, register, everything, not they have to pay for it. So encryption fast. And there's no free encryption. If they raise by that's no use. Only point to point will be free encryption. But if both of you must agree to use the same tool, and I mean that's okay for teaching, but not for real life. So encryption, nothing is encrypted. The internet is free. That's why you work with all these APMs and IPsec. Okay, all those tools. PKI, PKCS, everything is not in. Otherwise, you see, Unix was the original thing, 7-bit. We bother about encryption. Now we are worried about encryption because more of regulation. That says you cannot do this, you cannot do that, etc. We follow it. And in some cases, the clients may use some compression, like movies when they're transferring or in internet, Netflix. Then compression is more point to point because you're a subscriber. Netflix is sending it, you know. You know, they know.
Point to point.
Yeah. Yeah, because encoding and all is, so then compression is all business. That you need fast transmission, 4K, imaging 16K. Now, all those they have to study, but see, they're all on top of the base things. So the base layer won't change. This is from 1976 or 1972, I think, 73. The old one, all that stuff. So that doesn't change. But on top of it, yes, you can have all kinds of stuff, encryption, so many things. But that is all like extras. So what happens is the thief will have to strip off those layers to steal the data. But he knows, basically he knows how to strip the layers off. This is where you have to be very knowledgeable because for instance, the protocol handshake here is HELO will be sent and OLVH will come back. Then the handshake is something or UDP. Mail is UDP, so it will never be TCP. So this pieces can get lost. So the other products I the reassembly software rather than was defective. So you have to defend yourself. These are all legal issues, right? Identity status, identity domain, everything motor case, same thing. So all those issues. So what you will do as a forensic auditor is you will only collect the evidence which the lawyer has told you what he wants. The lawyer says, I need proof that this mail was complete. I need proof that this was only sent it. I need proof he sent it on the particular date. If you're able to give him so much, he won't find. Whatever the act says or law judge says, you will manage. But suppose we are not able to prove conclusively the date or conclusively the time, because sometimes server times won't work. Then you have to synchronize the times. I don't know if you get email like that, some very bad server, 3 servers, 3 different email or something. The time will be wrong. You will get it 8 o'clock in the morning instead of 3 in the morning. Because Yahoo, Google and all won't do that, they're expensive stuff. So I'm talking about the real budget meetings. Some people run the server in their own office. Some exchange server. Their time is different. Battery got gone down, the inside change it.
But today's system is synchronized the time.
So with their own office. And installed in your own office. But you put it that they save money. That's why we say give it outside. Main at least give it outside. And third party cloud storage also give it. If you do it inside, you're spending all the money on the AC and the generator, you don't have money for the server and security. So better to, that's why I showed even on the security you will outsource to. Actually already do it. If phones and all their photos go somewhere, music goes somewhere, WhatsApp doesn't belong to you. So many things you'll ask you, do you want a backup? You say no, no backup. We say yes, it's back, but don't know where it's back. So by the next phone, if you put only WhatsApp, the message is. If you put some other Viber, okay, I think you're going to have a rough idea, but it's a lot to study, not just these 5 commands all the way today. The built-in commands in DOS, Unix also has that. Then you can go to these small tools, illustrate. Then as you start reading the section, whatever, Kali Linux is open source. What I meant was free. So that's the best thing you could use. Paidware is expensive. Because companies have to make money. So try to work with as much as possible with open source. Because once you see all are same only. Only the menus will change. And paidware are very good fancy. They put nice menus. Open source when you have to type, like morning you're typing. I'm selling out here. So that's all the difference. If you're familiar with what to do, you can always buy those tools. And some big company, they'll insist you have to come only with this lessons or something. Right? All auditors, it doesn't make sense. They all work fast or lakhs of rupees. So one client it won't pay that. You need hundreds of clients. So then you can type these comments. This is painful. Somewhere we have to trade off between money and typing all of those. But you can have your notebook without any other thing I'm a student. Actually, this is not interesting. I've already just gone down on this message, but those who work in BPOs, insurance companies, security companies, they have done, but then they don't do tax and GST. You have to take some decision.
Now GS is issuing us the JSON data with the checksum. I do wonder, what if somebody goes and changes it? JSON
This time, please don't let change it to every time you must pay the bill itself, money is come to the government. So there's no more GST filing. There's an election every time postponing this, the election. Election coming late, after election, 8 o'clock news, even announced. No, they have everything ready. It's not announced. Election is a big deal. Right, well, if everything is fine, then we'll wind up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, no, you have to be.
I can take this.
On the lab photo.
Very good.
இது போல ஐநூறு பாத்தீங்கன்னா பவர் பேங்க் எடிக்கிற காரியம் அப்புறம் இங்க இருந்து சார்ஜ் கொடுத்து இதெல்லாம் கட்டி எடுத்து and I find, you know, and weeks at the age of my father. And speaking about, you know, the protocol, the old bank system and the new bank system. I am first time meeting you. The VCR, your speaker. You are thinking all the basic COBOL.
Okay, finally, my session. Thank you. Thank you.
I know you were in the session before you look into
நான் அப்படி சொன்னேன்ல சார் லஞ்சுக்கு முன்னாடி
சொன்னீங்களா
ஃபர்ஸ்டே சொல்லிட்டு தான்